Park residents have a problem with Mayo Clinic shuttles. I'm KIMT News 3's Anthony Monzon with why they're asking the clinic to keep it down.
And we have a chilly night ahead, but a cool sight in the night sky. I'll be talking about the partial lunar eclipse and what you need to know.
You can't run out the game clock on this one. This virus will find you.
Public health officials are concerned tonight about Minnesota's COVID surge. We're looking at the toll it is taking on state hospitals.
KIMT News 3, coverage you can count on. This is KIMT News 3 at 10.
Thanks for joining us for KIMT News 3 at 10. I'm Katie Lang. First tonight, residents of Rochester's Kutsky Park neighborhood are speaking out about a noisy disruption in their area. KIMT News 3's Anthony Monzon has been speaking with neighbors about why they're asking Mayo Clinic to keep it down. Anthony?
Well, Katie, I'm going to try to keep my voice down because this is one of the few hours Kutsky Park residents say they can get some rest without the rumble of Mayo Clinic buses passing by them. Now, for the last several months on end, those shuttles have been rounding this corner here on West Center and 11th Street to loop back over to St. Mary's Hospital. But residents say it's affecting their health and they want the clinic to cut it out. Just want to start off by asking how your morning was this morning.
This morning, like all of my weekday mornings for the past 18 months, started with a noisy shuttle bus waking me up at 4:30 a.m.
Kutsky Park resident Laurel Podolsky-Smith is awake but not alone weekday mornings before dawn. Podolsky-Smith says Mayo Clinic buses rumbling down her street are gradually wearing down she and her neighbors, disrupting their quality of life, sleep, and productivity, as well as mental and physical health.
Not being able to open windows, not being able to use front porches, back patios, their yards and lawns to enjoy or for their children to play in.
The frustration of Kutsky Park residents rearing its head during Monday's Rochester City Council meeting.
We in the neighborhood are stunned by the entitlement in this situation. It staggers our sensibilities to experience the appropriation of city streets and the lives and well-being of the residents on those streets by a powerful business.
This poses a problem to health of the residents, as we've heard, and to the integrity of the neighborhood. The amount of diesel exhaust is certainly a serious problem.
Do you detect a hint of irony about the fact that obviously Mayo Clinic is a global health leader and residents are expressing concern about these noise levels and possibly pollution, air pollution from exhaust, causing negative impacts on their own health?
Well, I've often found it ironic what's printed on the side of every bus, building community and empowering staff, and I haven't felt empowered by the presence of the buses.
Mayo Clinic tells KIMT in part the current number of buses using the route is higher than usual because of COVID safety precautions on bus capacity, and that it's tentatively planning to resume full capacity early next month while exploring alternative routes to provide some peak time relief. Podolsky-Smith says she's seen that response from Mayo Clinic before, and there's been no change since the neighborhood started voicing concerns 8 months ago.
We're saying we live here, and we're saying we'd like to sleep past 4:30 a.m. someday.
And Podolsky-Smith says it's wonderful that Mayo Clinic provides shuttle service for its employees, but neighbors here in Kutsky Park are just asking they find a way to do that without damaging their neighborhood. Live in Rochester, Anthony Monzon, KIMT News 3.
Thanks, Anthony. The Rochester City Council has now directed staff to look into this issue. Mayo Clinic says it's actively working with the city toward incorporating its employee transportation into the future bus rapid transit project. Let's take a live look now over downtown Rochester. A crisp, clear evening, and you can see the moon out there tonight. In KIMT Storm Team 3 Chief Meteorologist Erin joining me now to tell us a little bit about why the moon is so important tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool as we get into tonight. We're talking about the partial lunar eclipse. It's going to be a spectacle to see if you want to stay up a little bit later or maybe even just set an alarm because it is going to be kind of late tonight, especially as we reach the maximum right around 3 a.m. So there's that live look looking towards the moon. We got a chilly night though, already at 20 degrees. And this is actually from the same live eye looking at the moon, zoomed into it. You can see the nice detail there, just a nice full moon that we have for tonight. So let's get into it, talking about the partial lunar eclipse. It's going to begin just after 1 o'clock in the morning. So there you are, 1:18, starting to get the moon covered up by the Earth's shadow. And then as we get towards 3 a.m., that's when we get to the maximum, about 97% of the moon going to be covered up by the shadow of the Earth. So a really cool sight to see, but we are tracking at least a few clouds rolling in. I think we'll have a good showing of it, though, as we head through the overnight hours. But as we talk about the weather forecast, tracking a nice little warm-up for our weekend. I'll have a look at that weekend forecast here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Erin. Well, now at 10, public health officials are concerned tonight about a 35% spike nationwide in new cases in recent weeks of COVID-19. But we are seeing the largest surge right here in Minnesota.
It's unprecedented. I have never seen so many people on a ventilator at one time.
Dr. Josh Hilster is a critical care physician at Abbott Northwestern Hospital in Minneapolis. His ICU is full. The hospital system has nearly 300 COVID patients. Most of the 66 ICU COVID patients are on ventilators. Dr. Hilster says the vast majority of patients that he sees in the ICU are not vaccinated. Susan Rutten got the virus and spent a week in a Minnesota hospital. She was not vaccinated.
I feel bad taking up a bed if somebody needs it worse than I do.
COVID cases in Minnesota are up nearly 50% in the last week compared to the week before. Hospital admissions increased 24%, with the largest increase among those 30 to 49.
People have been successful doing some same-day appointments or really soon appointments at places like Costco or Sam's or Walmart.
Where you can skip the line and get your COVID-19 booster in Minnesota. And with temperatures dropping, the cost of home heating is rising. But the governor of Minnesota and the White House say help is on the way.
Really just looking for people that actually have the motivation to want to work.
Plus, where have all the workers gone? KIMT News 3's Alec Lasham dives into it in a special report.
KIMT News 3, first at 10. Your local news with KIMT News 3's Katie Lang. Tracking storms with Storm Team 3 Chief Meteorologist Erin White. This is KIMT News 3. More local news that is happening right now. We are coverage you can count on.
One, two, three, four, five. Sweet. Sounds good.
at 10, the return of holiday get-togethers may make some think the pandemic is behind us, but we're seeing numbers that we haven't seen since before a vaccine was available. Minnesota and a handful of other states aren't waiting, announcing plans to expand access to booster shots by the end of the week if the federal government doesn't take action. We're taking a closer look at how you can find a booster vaccine and possibly skip a long wait in line. Not waiting on the federal government to act, Minnesota is making way for people who want a vaccine booster to get one.
People have been able to get in pretty quickly if they know where to look.
Winnie Williams is one of several who run Vaccine Hunters, a website that helps people connect with the vaccine they need. She says word of Minnesota giving the green light for 18 plus to get a booster is causing many to seek help from the website.
So CVS and Walgreens are certainly big players in the game, but they're booking further out, I think, because people think of them as pharmacies and as places where they can get a vaccine.
Williams says if you want to get a booster in the next couple of days, you need to look beyond CVS into Walgreens.
The kinds of places that people have been successful in the last, let's say, 48 hours, because this is a changing sphere. Cub Foods is a really big player. There's a lot of Cub Foods that are taking walk-in. People have been successful doing some same-day appointments or really soon appointments at places like Costco or Sam's or Walmart. I mean, again, places that have pharmacies that people don't always think of.
Health Partners says getting the booster can help keep the most vulnerable out of the ER and ICU.
The group that is getting the booster vaccine right now is that group that's seeing breakthrough infections, right? So up until now, 65 and older, other medical conditions that put them at risk, even though they did everything right and got vaccinated, they are starting to see their immunity wane a little bit from that earlier vaccine. And that's why that group needs to get out there and get boosted now.
Community Care Clinics Minnesota takes walk-ins from 9 until 4 Monday through Saturday. Health Partner Clinics can also be a resource.
Minnesota's economy is recovering from the pandemic, but we're dealing with massive worker shortages. I'm KIMT News 3's Alec Lasham, looking into the issue next in a special report.
And it's already getting cold out there, and it's going to be rather cold as we head into your Friday morning. Be taking a look at that and have a full look at our 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
at 10, today's jobs report by the Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development shows the state is still adding jobs, with over 21,000 jobs added last month. KIMT News 3's Alec Lasham joining me now live in studio. And Alec, you're taking a look at how Minnesota's economic recovery is actually impacting the Med City.
Yeah, Katie, it's impossible to miss the hiring signs around town. Maybe you've had to wait a little bit longer for your fast food order, or maybe you have noticed it's not business as usual at your favorite shop. Minnesota's economic recovery has been one that has impacted industries, leaving some Med City businesses asking for help. What would normally be an average Tuesday at a South Rochester Papa Murphy's quickly turned into chaos after one employee showed up for work. Store manager Sean McMorris was the only employee facing down a flurry of orders.
I had like 30 tickets at one point just up in the front by myself, man. It was just hectic, man, like that. And we had to shut down our online orders, shut down our call-in orders, and just physically just have everybody come into the store and just place orders in the store because we was just so backed up.
Because of the short supply of workers, McMorris says 2 employees operate the store daily.
So really, we're just really short-staffed here, man. And it's really down to like 2 people until like 4 o'clock here daily for us here. The kids are coming in, they're at school, so we can't really ask for much for them.
Staffing shortages have been a big issue as Minnesota continues to climb out of last year's recession. Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development's Labor Market Information Assistant, Cameron Mocht, says job vacancies were at an all-time high this year.
Every industry in the state has almost record level amounts of demand. We saw over 205,000 job vacancies in the state in the second quarter of 2021. That was the highest number that we've ever recorded by at least 60,000.
However, Minnesota recorded its lowest unemployment rate since the onset of the pandemic last month. So where are the workers going? Express Employment's professional search recruiter Brad Trahan says he has noticed one industry in southeast Minnesota that has rebounded the most.
Our manufacturing in southeastern Minnesota is pretty strong. They really are. And when you talk about manufacturing, you're talking about steel production. You're talking about CNC opportunities. You're talking about all kinds of different manufacturing.
Trahan says despite solid job numbers, it is still a struggle to find people to work.
But it's still quite the challenge out there to find people that truly want to go to work. I mean, when I say that you go to work, if we find something for you, don't do a no-call, no-show on day 1 or day 2,
An issue McMorris says has driven staffing problems at the Take and Bake store.
It's like the work shortage for everybody right now. It's just nobody's really wanting to work for us here. They come and fill out the applications 1 or 2 times and work for 1 day, quit for us, and they're just pushing on everybody else.
With work vacancies expected to continue, McMorris wants to remind people employees are doing their best.
We're just trying our best out here as much as we can. We're trying to stay open as much as we can for the people here. We love taking orders, making pizzas.
Trahan also recommends businesses with staffing issues implement employee retention practices, maintaining a dependable workforce for the future. Katie?
Thanks, Alec. The state of Minnesota has recovered 71% of the jobs lost, while the private sector has regained 74%. Let's switch gears and take a live look over Highway 52 tonight. It is officially below freezing out there tonight. It's chilly, folks.
Ooh,
We're joined now by KIMT Storm Team 3 Chief Meteorologist Erin White. And Erin, what are you tracking?
Yeah, definitely some of that cold out there tonight. We already have temperatures down around the lower 20s. The real feel, if you step outside right now, feels like it's 12 degrees. So, yeah, a little shiver, right? It definitely is a cold night, and it's going to be a cold morning as you head out the door tomorrow. We are looking at temperatures to be into the upper teens for overnight lows with not as far away. We got 20 right now in Rochester and Mason City, and 21 degrees there in Albert Lee. You factor in the wind west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Well, it feels like it's down into the lower teens, and we are already down to 19 in Dodge Center, Owatonna, 18 for you in Forest City, 21 degrees Charles City, 20 in Osage. The wind, thankfully, isn't too bad. It's light, 0 to 10 miles per hour, but even just a subtle wind is giving us that real feel of 12 in Rochester and Preston, 20 in Osage, 11 in Mason City. So it is going to be a cold night and cold as you're heading out tomorrow morning. Around 21 degrees, maybe some upper teens out there. 39 for our high. We're going to warm up nicely because of a south wind at 5 to 10, maybe up to 15 miles per hour by the afternoon. Still chilly day overall, but at least a touch better than it was today with that high near 40. And as we go through Sky Tracker 3 for the rest of this evening into tonight, We are looking at mostly clear skies through the late overnight hours, so good news considering the partial lunar eclipse that's going to maximize right around 3 a.m. So looking at mostly clear skies across the board. Clouds to our west, and these are going to be higher clouds, so it shouldn't obscure the view of the lunar eclipse too much until we get towards tomorrow morning. It's going to be over by then, but we are looking at some thicker cloud cover moving in by sunrise and a mix of clouds and sunshine for tomorrow. More sunshine, I think, by the afternoon, and then clouds will return going into the start of the weekend. So for tonight, mostly clear, at least for most of tonight, and temperatures rather cold, 17 degrees. That real feel down around the lower teens, maybe even down to about 10. And then for tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a high around 39 for your Friday as we finish off the work week. 7-day forecast where the weekend is always in view, showing highs back to near the middle 40s on your Saturday. Some of us could even do better than that, especially in northern Iowa, maybe some mid to upper 40s, but then doesn't last because we are tracking a cold front coming in for Sunday. That's going to knock our high from 38. We'll be down into the 20s later in the day. On our way down to 15 degrees. Chance for some snow showers, not expecting accumulation, but with the snow and some of that wind, it's going to be very windy as that cold front's moving through. It's going to knock us down to 28 degrees for a high on Monday, and then back to the 40s before Thanksgiving.
New tomorrow morning on Daybreak, spending time outdoors has been proven to reduce stress, which may be higher than normal during the holiday season. KIMT News 3's Alex Dieter speaks with a Mayo expert about the benefits of getting outside. State lawmakers made a stop in the Med City today, what it means for the future of a deadly intersection. Plus, the average price of turkey and all the fixins is expected to be higher than last year. Now we know exactly how much we'll be forking over.
Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. Thanks, Drew.
Heating your home may be more expensive this winter as the pandemic causes energy prices to rise. The White House is offering relief to those that might have trouble paying their utility bills. The feds are distributing $4.5 billion to their low-income home energy assistance program. The decision comes as utility companies predict higher rates on bills. A large portion of the money will come from President Biden's coronavirus relief package. Rochester resident Nancy Warren supports the idea.
I think it's about time that they start helping some people out. They've been helping out the rich for how long? And there are people that can't afford their heating bills, and they need help.
Governor Walz joined the leaders of several other states on a call earlier today, announcing the funds will be made available to vulnerable households. The Senate Capital Investment Committee is continuing its bonding tour across Minnesota, making some stops in the Med-City today. One of the projects touched on was the realignment of Highway 14 at the County Road 104 intersection. Another project discussed, building a new materials recycling facility. Senator David Senjum says this will take recycling to a whole new level.
The whole idea of that Rochester being an innovative city itself, be it in medicine or so many other ways, is now becoming more innovative in this energy area. So very innovative, very cutting edge, and frankly very important as we move towards a clean energy future.
The committee wrapped up its tour today, making some stops in Casson, Dodge Center, and Zumbrota. The tour will continue in January. Well, we've been reporting on the high cost of Thanksgiving feasts this year, and today the American Farm Bureau Federation actually put a price tag on it. The average price for the traditional holiday dinner is up 14% from last year. Among the increases, turkey up 24%, pumpkin pie mix up 7%, and sweet potatoes up 4%.
Coming up in sports, teams took the field for some semifinal high school football action. We'll have a look at some of those teams advancing in the state tournament next.
We have one more week of high school football here in Minnesota. KIMT News 3 Sports, Mary Peters joining me now. And Mary, you were in Minneapolis earlier today, so how was it getting to watch the teams live in action?
Yeah, Katie, it was such a fun environment. Everyone was so excited, and games started for us at 11:30 this morning, so we were there all day. Crowd was pumping. It was a blast. And local teams took the gridiron in the hope of extending their postseason. So let's get right to that semifinal action, starting with Leroy Ostrander taking the field against Kitson County Central. The Leroy Ostrander Cardinals came out hot and did not slow down. Tanner Olson finds a hole and barrels into the end zone, tacking on another 7. And let's just add 7 more to that one as quarterback Chase Johnson jumps over the defender. Kitson County Central just could not stop the Cardinals. And take a look at Johnson. Here he is again, weaving through defenders, breaking tackles all the way to the end zone. The Cardinals get the win 49-0 to advance to the 9-man championship game a week from Saturday. In Class 2A, the Chatfield Gophers took the field against Barnesville. Short pass to Levi Eichenbrock. He breaks a tackle and finds the end zone. Barnesville scores first. Chatfield has an answer, though. Take a look at this rainbow pass to Isaac Erding. Touchdown Gophers. Chatfield inches closer to another touchdown. And another big play. Take a look at this one. Cole Johnson jumps up to grab that pass. This was a close one at the end. The Gophers scored a touchdown with just over 2 minutes to go in the game to get the win 22-18. They will take the field a week from tomorrow in the championship game. The Casson-Manorville Comets took the gridiron against Becker in Class 4A. Becker scores first. Quarterback Ryan Bengstein finds Logan Eisel in the end zone. Touchdown Bulldogs. Casson-Manorville inching closer to the end zone. Take a look at Brooks Buchanan. He runs it to about the 5-yard line. And right on the next play, the Comets are ready to score. Quarterback Matt Donovan on the keeper. He gets the touchdown. Comets tied up at 17. With 21 points in the fourth quarter, Casson-Manorville comes away with a big win, 24-20. Comets advance to the championship game. That one kicks off a week from tomorrow. Heading across state lines, the West Hancock Eagles took the field against the Grundy Center Spartans for the Class A state championship. The Eagles were crowned state champs with an undefeated season, getting the win 19-14. This is West Hancock's 4th state championship and 2nd title in just 3 years. Erin?
Good stuff. Thank you, Mary. As we look at our forecast for your Friday, as you're heading out the door, it is going to be on the chilly side, down to around 21 degrees. Some of us into the upper teens, but that real feel down in the lower teens. So definitely bundle up as you're heading out the door. We do rebound into the upper 30s by the afternoon, thanks to that south wind at 10 to 20 miles per hour. So definitely not as windy as the last few days. But heading into the weekend, got a high around 44 degrees on your Saturday. Tracking a cold front that's going to bring the chance of snow showers, some more wind, and yes, some more cold temps as we kick off the next week.
All right. Thanks, Erin. And thank you for making us your choice for local news. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow morning at 4:30 for Daybreak. We'll all be back here tomorrow night at 10. Good night.